Hey guys, happy Thursday. Today is October 29th, 2020. We are going to continue our Unit 3 multiplication. Inside of your journal, find a new clean page behind the area models for multiplication from yesterday. And you're going to write the underlined title, Standard Algorithm Multiplication with 3-digit by 1-digit numbers. Pause the video here if you need to do so. Today's objective, students will learn the process steps of standard algorithm multiplication to multiply 2- and 3-digit factors by 1-digit factors to solve for a product. Your vocabulary is a standard algorithm, multiplying the top numbers by the bottom number one value at a time and multiplying from right to left. If you want to pause the video here to write that vocabulary term down, you may do so now. All right, so here's an I do, and I just want you to put your pencils down and listen as I go through the process. And he'll bought 3 televisions for $232 each. How much money did Angel spend all together? So there's some key ones. He bought 3 televisions, and each of those televisions was $232. Your question is asking how much money did he spend all together? And that sounds like repeated addition, which you can do, adding 232 plus 232 plus 232. But today we are going to use this and do it as a multiplication equation using our standard algorithm. So again, pencils are down. You're just watching and paying attention. So we have $232. And we're going to do that 3 times. So we're going to multiply everything by 3. We're going to do the standard algorithm today. So the first step is we go up, and we're going to multiply 3 times 2, and we're going to place that in our ones place. Then after that, we're going to go 3 times 3, which is a 9. You're going to put that underneath your tens place. And the last step is we're going to take 3 times 2, and we're going to multiply it by 6. And that is our basic standard algorithm. You multiply from right to left. You're multiplying everything on the top by the number that is down on the bottom. And this is our basic concept of our standard algorithm. So here we're going to try 2 more. And this time, I want you to be active in it. So here is those steps again. You have 232. We multiplied the first, 3 times 2, which is 6. Step 2, 3 times 3, which is 9. Step 3, 3 times 2, which is 6, for a total of 696. Now, here we have another one. This time, I want you to see if you can do the equation. So Edgar bought 4 televisions that cost $213 each. So there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How much money did Edgar spend on all 4 televisions? So we're looking for, what was the total again? How much did he spend on all 4? So what I want you to do is pause the video here and see if you can write down your standard algorithm equation and see if you can find the product. Okay, so you should have written down $213 and multiplying it by 4. Remember, your step 1 is you start on the bottom number, multiplying the top number. You're working from your right to your left. So we're going to start with our ones place. 4 times 3, you should have gotten a 12. Oh, but there's a regrouping. Here is something new. With multiplication of your standard algorithm, when you regroup, you go to the next area and put a plus 1. So my 12, you have the 2 down below and put a plus 1 above your tens place. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Then you have 4 times 1, which is 4, but then you have to add that 1, which is a 5. Again, you multiply 4 times 1 and then add your 1 for 5. Last step, you have 4 times 2, which is 8. And you should have gotten the answer of 852. Now, if you didn't do this or you made a mistake, the regrouping wasn't done correctly, pause the video here and fix whatever was done incorrectly. And here is those steps again. Again, we do 3 times 4. Here's the 12. They regroup the 1. And then our step 2, 4 times 1, which is 4, plus 1, which is 5. Last step, 4 times 2, which is 8. So it's showing those 1, 2, 3 steps. And here's another one. Eviana bought 3 computers for $406 each. How much money did Eviana spend to buy all 3 computers? So here this is a multiplication equation again, or you could do repeated addition, but we're practicing our standard algorithm. So I want you to pause the video here. See if you can write down the standard algorithm equation of multiplying 406 times 3. And see if you can find your product using your standard algorithm. Now we've done the area model. Now we're switching over to our standard algorithm. This is much quicker and you end up with the same answers. So you should have come up with the equation $406 times 3. And remember, we start in our ones place, we work from right to left. So 6 times 3 is 18. So your 8 goes down below and your plus 1 goes up top, plus 1. Then you have 3 times 0. And remember, anything times 0 is 0. So 3 times 0 is 0, but then you have a plus 1. So that 1 comes down. Then your 4 times 3 is 12. Now we don't have anything to regroup, so your 12 drops down to the bottom. And then we put all of our symbols for our answer. We have a dollar, and here's a comma. So your answer should read $1,218. And again, here are those steps. Step 1, 6 times 3, 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1, which is here, your 1. And then the last part, you have 3 times 4. There isn't anything to regroup, so the 12 goes underneath there. And when you actually write it out, it was 12. And then 1/8. And your comma goes there. 1,218. Okay. Here comes the next part. Your exit ticket is on page 60. And if you're in class with me, we will go through these and check them before, but make sure that you practice on these if you want me to check and make sure that you are doing them correctly. When I check back in with the classroom, make sure that you have those out and ready to go. But your exit ticket is on page 60, and you have 4 equations for number 1. There is an estimate on the top of it. Don't do those. You're just practicing multiplying. The first one is 3. You're multiplying 312 by 3. Your second one is multiplying 424 by 2. You're multiplying 212 by 4 and 131 by 3. And then if you feel comfortable with those, and I've checked to make sure you're doing it correctly, then your independent practice is on page 61. And you do not have to do the estimate, but there are 12 problems for you guys to do. This should be plenty of practice to get in that hang of it. So if you're at home and you feel like you're stuck or you're lost or confused, when I check back in with you guys, make sure you tell me where you need help. Then if you're good to go, the last thing that you guys have attached is this part right here, where it's extra practice on grid paper, where you're multiplying just 2 digits by 1 digit. And that is on the attachment on our Google Classroom. But again, step by step, exit ticket, check in with me, make sure you did those 4 correct. Then your independent practice is the actual work. Now, if you guys get done with this and you're like, what do I do next? Nothing hurts to have extra practice. So it is there for you to do as well. All right, guys. So if you have questions, when I check back in with you guys, make sure you let me know and I'll see you then.